good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to another episode of the Monday Mindset. Looking forward to sharing this with you today. This is one that many of you that know me know that I've been tapping into AI quite a bit and using it from a business standpoint. But I've also used it from a mindset and coaching standpoint for myself and have found some great benefits in that. So looking forward to being able to share that with you and how I've been able to put that to use. Actually trying to see if I can find the PowerPoint. I want to have a PowerPoint I will share with you here. Let's see, is that the right one? Yeah. See if we can share this. All right. Okay. So we're going to get into just having a conversation in regards to AI as your 24/7 mindset coach. And what I want you to think about from that perspective is, number one, I know that there's a lot of people, there's a lot of pushback in regards to AI. Again, there's the conversation about, is AI going to take over, for us? Well, the reality of it is, there are aspects of business and the way we do things that are transitioning. Where I was at a restaurant this weekend, it's a fast food restaurant this weekend. And what I realized is I didn't speak to an actual person until they handed me my food because they haven't figured out a way just yet. I'm sure it's coming for technology to hand you your food. But again, I placed the order on a computer screen. I paid right there. And then once the order was made, someone called my name and I picked up the order. That has been occurring for years. I mean, you think about when we go to the grocery store, you see less and less cashiers and you see more of those kiosks or those booths where you're basically your self-checkout, and again, that's becoming the norm. That's not going to change. And now we're seeing from the intelligence standpoint, just in the last 18 months, how so much AI has become a part of really of our world. And I know there's a lot of people that are still resistant to it to a certain degree. There's a lot of people that don't understand it, may be fearful of it, may be concerned about what you're sharing, things of that nature. But the reality of it is it's here. And I've really embraced it for the last 18 months. And I've just found ways to be able to put it to use. So I'm going to show you some of those areas that I've been able to put it to use just recently, and probably been doing it for the last year now, in regards to mindset and personal development, and particularly in regards to my real estate business as well. So I want you to look at it from a standpoint, just, really an open mind with this, whether you decide to use it or not, just knowing that this is out there and it's available. And I think one of the reasons why, number one, when we shift, let's talk about mindset. I've talked about AI. Let's talk about mindset for a minute. One of those areas that I believe to be successful in anything you do, and that's whether it's your real estate business, your insurance business, whether it's, not even business, whether it's your relationships, whether it's losing weight, whatever the case may be, if you're going to succeed in anything that you're trying to achieve, it's all going to start with having the proper mindset and going into it with the right thinking. Now, in many of those cases, we can either rely on ourselves, but again, it's kind of like, if you're trying to develop your mindset solely on your own, you're only limited to your own thoughts. So that's where, again, if you're listening, for years, people have listened to YouTube videos of motivational speakers. And I can tell you some of my mentors many of my mentors have came right off of YouTube. I've had the fortune of actually meeting some of the mentors that I found on YouTube and going into training sessions with them, like Les Brown and Billy Alsbrooks. I've been in mastermind sessions with NFL Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins, but it was costly to be in certain rooms, and it was costly to have certain training, and not everyone has the ability to pay those costs. So again, sometimes that limits us on the information that we're receiving. But I can tell you that there are many people that I know that have had great success with just being able to listen to certain speakers through YouTube videos and implement and take action on some of the things that they're learning there. But what I'm getting ready to show you is really taking it up to another level of how to go about doing mindset in your business. Again, some of the challenges that, people have, 62% of agents, mindset is the biggest challenge in their real estate business. So you think about that, more than half. And like I said, it is the foundational piece of anything that you're going to be successful with is the self-talk, what you're saying to yourself and how, your limiting beliefs that you're placing on yourself, the conviction that you have of whatever your goal is and the level of that conviction. All of those things are going to come from the mindset. So your belief, your thinking, your behavior it all stems from that foundation of the mindset. And when you have 62% that are, saying they have the challenges with mindset, that speaks volumes. And then on the flip side of that, your top producers, your successful people in any industry will say, it's 3 times their development time is spent on mindset. So again, they realize the importance of spending time in this place. I know of motivational speakers. You think a motivational speaker would not necessarily need mindset coaching, but honestly, they probably need it more because not only are they using it for themselves, but they're using it to continue to deliver a message. And some of the mindset coaches that I've worked with, one of them again, Les Brown. Considered to be one of the top motivational speakers in the world, has a coach. So understanding that very successful people are in connection with other successful people to be able to continue to develop. And then the other challenge that comes into play is the cost. On average, it can be, a $1,500 monthly cost. I've seen it much higher than that. I've seen it a little bit lower than that. But the bottom line is if you're just getting started in real estate or you're just getting started in whatever business you're doing, you may not have that type of money to be able to spend on a monthly basis to help develop your mindset. So that's where, once again, the AI in your business is going to be helpful. I'm just moving the slide around here. So why AI for mindset coaching? Again, it's going to be real-time feedback. So immediately. And what I'm mostly talking about, I'm going to share some other apps that you can use particularly for mindset that are related to their AI driven. But most of what I'm talking about is right through ChatGPT. That's the one that I use. But getting real-time feedback, and I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like when I'm having conversations with chat in regards to certain things. But one of them, I'm going to give you an example of having a conversation around mindset. So again, being able to get it right then, right there. And then, like I mentioned, listening to YouTube videos, things of that nature. But with the real-time feedback, you're addressing a certain thing that's going on in your business or in your life that you want a direct answer for. So it's not just a video that's kind of talking about persevering or pushing through the challenges. No, it's through AI. It's talking directly about the thing that you're having trouble with. Again, stat driven accountability for, an objective guidance. This is once again, when you're talking to a human, this can be sometimes a challenge where, you may feel that the feedback is harsh, or you may feel that the feedback is not accurate to a certain degree. And it's easy, I think, to feel that way when you're talking to another human. But when you're talking to AI and having this conversation with AI, you're going to be more open to listening to the information that's coming back and reading the information that's coming back in regards to the responses. Um, the personal guidance again goes back to based on your data and your performance metrics. So and I think this is another piece that's important is when you're speaking with AI in regards to your development and your growth, your goals and, your challenges and your setback. And I think more importantly, when you're talking about your shortcomings and the things that you know about you that are keeping you from advancing, it's easier to say it to a computer or AI versus a person sometimes. And sometimes you can be more forthright in regards to the information so that you can ensure that you're getting a more accurate response. And then it goes back to being more cost effective. I would say, it says 50 to $200, but honestly, you can do this for free through, like I said, with Chat GPT. There's a part of chat that you can use at no cost. If you do pay for chat, it's $20 a month. I pay the $20 a month. And the information that it gives me is well worth that and then some. So definitely, much more affordable than that $1,500 a month that we were talking about before. Before I continue on, I wanted to kind of just touch base and see, just by a show of hands, or if you drop in the chat, is anyone, number one, using AI for any part of your business, not just personal development, but anything in your business? If you don't mind just dropping it in the chat. And I'll kind of continue and I'll just see if I, have some responses come through. And then I would also like to know, is anyone just dead set against using AI and not willing to do anything with it? So yeah, definitely let me know there as well. And then so this is just kind of a case study that shows, a person that was able to use this AI from a standpoint of personal development, where again, the, 34% more closings. So over a third more closings in just a 90-day period using AI coaching, tailored guidance using a sales history, goals, and market data. So again, not only when you start having these conversations, whether it's real estate, whether it's insurance, whether you're a financial planner, so you can start with the personal development aspect, but it can lead you down a path where AI is helping you with your business. And I can tell you, I've used this in several different occasions to, again, expedite things that I was trying to get done with AI, getting it done immediately, having different ideas that I wanted to bounce off of AI and then put into action, for my business, as well. And so I think, obviously I'm very comfortable with, utilizing, AI, from that standpoint, but it's just going to, again, help you to grow your business. And then one of the things that I would definitely say is a dedicated Chat GPT folder specifically for, in this instance, your real estate mindset coaching. So all the information when you're having that conversation, you can have a folder in chat where it's all collected in that area. So it's almost like the equivalent of having this counselor that like if you're in there this week and then next week you're going in and you're talking about a different subject, well, it still has all the information from the previous conversation, and all previous conversations from week to week. And it learns and it's going to continue to learn with you and learn you and help you grow through that process. And then again, being able to see, in this instance, a $2,000 monthly savings, um, just by replacing the traditional coaching and utilizing AI. So again, the cost is going to be minimal, but the outcome, the results can be, very, very positive for you in your business. So let's talk about, what it looks like to build your AI mindset coach. Again, having that dedicated folder is going to be important. In that folder, it's almost like when you go in to speak to, whether it's if you spoke to a therapist just about life stuff. But if you had a business coach and you're going in and you're speaking in regards to a business coach, you can give them, your stats. You can give them, this is what I've done in real estate thus far. These are my goals. This is where I'm trying to go in the next 12 months, 24 months, whatever the case may be. These are the things that I think are keeping me from going from where I'm at now to reaching my goals, because I've had this goal for X number of years and I've fell short so many different times. And I think these areas for me will help me to break through if I can get better in these areas. And if you can coach me from a standpoint of the thinking of Tom Ferry and the thinking of Tony Robbins and the thinking of Les Brown, you can put any person you want. If there are certain mentors that you follow online, you can tell chat to talk to you in that tone of those certain mentors. And it's almost like getting information from them without having to pay for it. So that's, again, the power of being able to use the AI. So again, building out the personal metrics and your performance data by giving those pieces of information. Input your mindset foundation, document the limiting beliefs. So, what's holding you back, the goals and the current challenge. Establishing a routine check-in. So this is just like anything that we do, the consistency of doing it is what's going to create success. So this should be something, honestly, that you're doing, whether it's Monday through Friday or whether it's Monday through Sunday, that you're checking in with this in this folder in chat, or if you're using an app, you're checking in 10 to 15 minutes every day. I mean, 10 to 15 minutes, you can find 10 to 15 minutes a day to check in. And I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second. Um, and then leveraging specialized platforms. I'm going to share with you some different platforms that are out there, but agentcoach.ai is a great one that you can actually use to be able to again, outside of chat. There are fees that are going to go with those. And that's why I say chat is a great place to start. And then if you feel like you're graduating beyond chat and you're looking for something more conducive to what you're trying to do, there's definitely a lot of different apps out there. And I'll share some of those with you here in just a second. So again, beyond the mindset, AI expands, the coaching role. So think about this from a standpoint, and as I mentioned a minute ago, when I have new listings, if I have a luxury listing, or if I have a listing of an expired property that I'm taking over, and I need to not only, do a great presentation. I need to bring something that no other agent, especially if I'm competing on a listing presentation or even a buyer presentation these days. Sometimes you're competing there as well. But I need to be able to bring something to the table, or multiple things to the table, that are going to set me apart from every other agent that is being interviewed. So again, one of those areas for me is going into chat and then asking, give me, I'll say, give me 5 or give me 10 unique areas that most real estate agents are not presenting in a listing presentation, or they're not doing to get a listing sold, that will help me stand out to this potential seller. That's one of those areas just before I go into the presentation. Sometimes, again, when you're a newer agent, negotiations, can be a challenge, and having negotiation support, being able to know how to properly negotiate a contract, being able to input that information into chat and help you, and kind of, you'll have an idea of how you think would be the best way to negotiate it. You're not letting chat do all the negotiation, but you're figuring out the best way to approach the negotiation. Once again, is a great tool to be able to use there. As I mentioned, the pre-listing confidence, again, when you have consulted with chat in regards to a listing appointment, you go in prepared. You can even do a scenario where you do role playing with chat, where it will actually ask you questions as a seller or as a buyer, whoever you're talking to. And you can make it hard or easy in regards to that. And you make it, the end goal is to win the business, and it will push you, to make you win the business. So it helps you to prepare for a listing presentation with a buyer or seller. And then market shift strategies, again, being able to share different, number one, this is data that is being pulled directly from chat and giving you, and you can make it local. You can make it hyper local in regards to not just the nation, not just Colorado, but Denver, Central Park, whatever the case may be. And it's going to be able to pull that information to help give you accurate data on what the current market is. It makes you look like a rock star when you can walk in with that kind of information. And then again, the business alignment, creating a work-life balance for yourself. I think this is something that is important to me, because I can have a work balance a lot of times. And so I have to remember, that there's a life outside of real estate and being in front of this computer. And, I have a family and things of that nature. So again, helping to create a schedule in regards to that and the importance of it. Sometimes, again, I need to hear that. I hear it from my wife, but sometimes I tell AI to remind me of those things as well. So the implementation, let's say week 1, again, setting up your basic AI coaching infrastructure. Again, this is going to be kind of setting out what the goals are. As I mentioned, what your goals, we all have goals, hopefully, for this year. We're almost at the halfway mark. And if you're lagging behind the goals that you had, then again, this is a great opportunity to have that conversation in chat. Then again, saying, okay, 6 months in, this is where I'm at on those goals. I'm ahead or I'm behind. Maybe, also giving some of the reasons as to why you think that you're behind. Ask for some ideas that can help you to kickstart and launch your business. It will give you that information. Really just kind of setting the infrastructure there. And like I said earlier, the daily mindset check-in, I would say 10 to 15 minutes a day is going to be helpful for you, of staying in front of your thinking, your mindset. Week 4, again, the performance review, strategy, and adjusting. So if you're doing this on a daily basis every week for 4 weeks, and then you ask, once again, it's all in the same folder, and then you're asking chat to give you a performance review, because some of you that are part of my group, you've been in the greatness tracker training. You've been in the Icon 365 training that I do, and we meet on a weekly basis. And again, we are doing a performance review as we're going. So now you're able to do that right through chat. I'm actually in the process right now of building out a custom chat GPT that goes right over everything that I teach in that Icon 365 training. And so again, someone would have it with them on a daily basis. Um, okay, and then 2 to 3 months in, again, looking at where you're at in your business, where your success has been, and then really 90 days in, looking at where your ROI is, and you should be 3 to 5 times, the return on your investment than where you were when you started, this particular training. So your next steps again today would be to, if you don't have a Chat GPT account, it's free. So start a Chat GPT account, first and foremost, and just start very simple. If you've never been there, if you haven't used it for something like this, just do small check-ins and just play with it. Let it, learn it and let it learn you. Explore some of those specialized platforms. I'll share some of those with you here in just a minute. And then commit to, we were just talking about 90 days, just commit to a 21-day challenge. You heard about the 21-day habit. Anything that you do for 21 days will become a habit, will become a routine. And the key to any success, number one, is going to be mindset. But number two, is going to be the consistency of doing that thing. And then, also integrate human coaching. So this doesn't mean that you don't look for coaching or support from the outside. Those of you that are part of my organization, obviously you have me. We have Jesse Zagorski. We have Brent Conley. We have so many different people that are part of our organization that you can lean on in regards to this. But using AI is just another aspect of what you can do. So with that, I'm going to give you an example of this, but I wanted to also give you a couple of other platforms that you can use. Let's see. One of them that, and I just actually just pulled these up today, but one of them that was very interesting to me is called Mindsera, Mindsera, all one word. It's an AI-powered journaling and mindset coaching program. It analyzes your journal entries, identifies patterns and limiting belief, and offers reflection, helps you to reframe, and gives you different growth tips and ideas. And it's designed for deep personal development, very aligned with Mindset 2.0 thinking. And then another one that I think is, from what I've been told, is WISA, which is WYSA. It's kind of more from a well-being coach, offers AI-driven conversation to reduce stress, improve resilience, shift thinking, and coach emotional intelligence. And I think IQ and EQ are equally as important in our lives. And being able to have that balance, I think, is great. And while, again, we can have humans that we talk to about certain things like this, I think implementing it where on a daily basis, you could have someone that, or a tool that you can use to be able to do that will be very effective as well. All right. So we got about a minute. So I'm going to share with you, I want you to see one of the things that I use AI for and how I put it to use. Now I pay $20 a month. I think you have to pay the $20 fee to be able to do this, but I want to show you, you can just listen to the conversation that I have. This is on Chat GPT. So give me just one second. Hey, Chat, I am having trouble in my real estate business right now. I'm not generating as much business as I would like. I'm doing a lot of open houses, but I'm not having people that are showing up. Do you have any thoughts from a mindset perspective that could help me get better?
I'm sorry to hear you feeling a bit stuck. I know it can be tough when you're putting in so much effort and not seeing the results you want. One thing that can help from a mindset perspective is to really focus on the process rather than just the outcome. Every open house, every phone call, every conversation is building momentum, even if you don't see immediate results. Also, it might be helpful to reframe any challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. And remember, consistency is key. So keep at it and know that your efforts will pay off in time.
Okay. And then also with my sphere, I have people that I'm calling that they tell me that they're ready and then they all of a sudden disappear and I can't find them. This is getting frustrating. What would you say is the best way for me to approach that?
I can definitely understand how that can be frustrating. It's pretty common in real estate, though. One thing you might try is keeping those relationships warm by staying in touch in a more casual, value-driven way. Maybe share helpful market updates, interesting articles, or even personal notes to keep the lines of communication open. That way, when they're truly ready, they'll think of you first. And just keep it light and consistent. And don't take it personally. Sometimes life just gets in the way for people.
All right. And then just lastly, so with that same question, it really kind of wears on my confidence when people all of a sudden disappear like that. What would you say is the best way from a mindset perspective for me to work through that?
It's completely understandable that it can take a toll on your confidence. I think one of the best ways to approach this is to remember that it's not a reflection of your abilities or your value as an agent. People's circumstances change, and sometimes it's just not the right time for them. One way to keep your confidence up is to celebrate the small wins, the effort you're putting in, and the connections you're making along the way. Also, surrounding yourself with positive influences, whether it's mentors, colleagues, or even just motivational content, can really help keep your mindset strong and resilient.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
You're absolutely welcome. If you need any more tips or just want to chat about anything,
All right. Okay. So you can see this is something that I do on a regular basis, and not just mindset stuff, just real estate related, recipes, whatever the case may be. I'm having those types of conversations, and something that could have just kept going on, and we can go deeper and deeper into certain areas. So if you're, like I said, you guys showed up here. Let me see, how many of us are there here? There's 13 of us here today. So again, mindset is something that is important to you and growing and becoming better. So it shouldn't just be on a Monday at 9 a.m. This is something that you can definitely tap into on a daily basis. And I just wanted to share this tool and how I've been using it to help me to see if you can put it into place for yourself. Thanks everyone for being here today. Feel free to reach out if you have any further questions. 30 minutes honestly is not enough time to kind of cover all of this. So more than happy to have, deeper conversation with you in regards to putting this to use. Thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.